we're going to be drawing a Chinese dragon. So we're going to learn the basis of drawing a dragon using line and shapes, and then you'll be on your own to color it using whatever coloring supplies you have available. So grab pencil, paper to get started, and you can always grab markers, watercolors, whatever paint's available for the remainder of your project. Let's get started. All right, the supplies you're going to need are paper, pencil, and coloring supplies. We're going to start with a circle. Remember to draw light. We're going to make an S shape, a nice curvy shape that goes all the way toward the top of our paper. And the top, where it ends, is going to be the tip of our tail. So we're going to make it a little bit thicker as we go back down toward the circle, or you can draw it the other direction. Make sure you have an eraser handy in case you need to correct your shape. Draw light once again, just a reminder. So it kind of looks like a snake. This is the body of our dragon. Then we're going to put a sideways V on the circle, and then we're going to start to put in some legs. So we need to put in some ovals. So I make two ovals, one for the top of the leg, one for the bottom shaft, and then a circle where the hand or his claws go, his paw. We're going to figure out where each of these are going to lie. And I'm drawing these in very lightly so I can go back in, and I'm going to add more to it here in a little bit. But I just need to know where the placement is. So get your 4 drawn on there. Okay. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go back in and we're going to start to put in our mouth and get that shaped. So you want to do kind of an angle for the bottom jaw. In the top, we're going to give it 2 curves for the nostrils, and then we're going to give it 3 curves behind that. They go back to the circle. That'll be the top of his nose area. We're going to put in 2 circles for the eyes. And right now what we're doing is we're just putting in some basics, and then we'll go back and we'll tighten everything up. We're going to give him some beard hair because they have a beard. So it's just some nice curvy zigzag lines. Nice curved for his bottom jaw there, kind of indicate where that is. And then we're going to indicate where the top, right above his eyes are. Just a nice curved line. And tighten those lines up. And then we're going to put another mustache on our dragon here. He has some nice long pieces that hang down. I'm going to put that in there in just a second. Let's finish tightening up these lines. The circles for his nostrils. There's the nice long pieces that come down. They're said to have like a beard or like a mustache, kind of like a koi fish, where they have the long whiskers off the sides. The history of the Chinese dragon is really unique. If you look it up and find out what all the meanings are and what all the different aspects of the Chinese dragon are, he's got a mane like a lion, antlers like a deer. So we're going to give the mane on him right here. And you're going to erase some of the original lines that we put in there so it'll start to come together. So again, you're drawing lightly, because if you draw too heavy, you're going to have a real difficult time erasing your construction lines. Your original lines that we put in are called construction lines. So I'm just going through here and I'm just kind of tidying it up a little bit as I go. So as I draw in the original lines, now I'm erasing some of those first construction lines. He does have an ear, so make sure you draw your ear in next to one of the eyes. Ears like a deer. He also has horns like a deer, and we'll get to that here in a little bit. Supposed to have paws like a lion and claws like an eagle. Like I said, he's got some really unique features. We're going to add some details on the tail here real quick. You're just going to make some curves out and back in. I'm going to zoom in here. We're going to work on these legs. So once we have those 2 curves, or the 2 ovals in for our construction lines. We're going to go back in and we're going to start to pull them together. I'm erasing some of the inside lines because we don't need those any longer. So I'm going to have a basic leg, and you have a circle at the end, which is going to be the base of the hand or the paw of the lion. And I'm going to give some like awkward little letter V's. I'm going to put 5 of these in. These are going to show me where to put my claws. And each of those angles is going to have a oval, which makes the joints of each of the fingers. And then we're going to put kind of a letter V at the end to become the claw. So we're going to do this to form it, and then we'll go back in and erase some of the insides so that you can really start to see what our creature is starting to look like here. So I'll show you here. And once we do this one leg, we'll do this to all 4 legs. So you can see how I'm erasing some of those first construction lines. There you go. And I'm just going to kind of tidy this up. All right, now we're going to do this to each of our legs. The leg in the back, to the one I was just working on, this one is our back leg. So you're not going to see, and you can see that I've already erased some of that area on the body. So you're just going to see it sticking out from the top and then below. So you want to know, you want to pay attention to what's on the opposite side of the body that's not being seen. You won't see everything. So I'm just quickly going through here, cleaning these up, getting these claws down. And I did rearrange one of my legs so you can see that I did make it so that the other one's coming from the other opposite side of the body. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to start to draw on the spine of the dragon. He's got some nice sharp angles. I'm cutting in on the body to show how his body twists. So as you're putting these on, you want to make sure that you flip your paper around and then draw your spines on the opposite way. It just shows a motion that he's twisting. You'll see that a lot in Chinese art of the dragons that are created. There you go. So you can see how I put those on. Now I'm going in and I'm just going to put in some fur. He's got fur coming off his elbows, so I'm just going to draw some of that in just the same way that I drew in the tail. So just some nice curvy lines. And then we're going to go back in and start to draw his antlers. Now he has antlers like a deer, so if you know what a deer's horns look like, draw some deer horns. I'm just drawing some really simple ones here. You can just go straight and then curve in, curve out, and up and down, and then back down to where you started. Make sure that you erase some of the other lines that were cutting through that so it's a nice solid shape. And then I'm going to give some eyebrows over top of the eyes. So I'm just again using that curved zigzag kind of line, and then I'm going to tidy it up a little bit. I'm going to give him eyes like a cat or like a lizard, nice Nice slit there in his eyes. And I'm going to go in and start to put some teeth in. And he also has a tongue. We're going to put a tongue in here real quick. So I'm just going to bring a curve out. It's going to come back. It's going to get a little bit smaller there. I'm going to erase those first lines again. This is why we draw lightly. I'm going to continue to put teeth in. As the teeth go back in space in his mouth, they're going to get smaller. You're not going to see much on the other side of his bottom jaw just because the tongue's in the way. I'm going to add some teeth here on top. Same idea, make them bigger at the front and then they get smaller as they go back to give an impression of space. Alright, I'm going to give some details now. I'm going to go in and tidy up a few lines. Okay, I'm going to go into the details of the feet, and once I show you this on this leg, you'll want to do that on each leg. And it's kind of and he's known to have fish scales. So he has scales like a fish, like a koi, or like a koi fish. Like a carp. That's it, actually. Which koi are carp. I'm going to darken up some of the lines on him. You don't have to darken them up with me right now. You can go back in and you will see at the end of my video that I've actually added in using a Sharpie. I've gone in with a really thin point Sharpie or a black ink pen that's waterproof because I'm going to use watercolors on this guy. And I'm going over all my line work. That'll really just make your line work that you've worked really hard at shine through, and it'll make it look awesome. So I'm going to show you here real quick. I'm going to speed up my video, get the legs done. He's also going to have, so you can see on the belly that I kind of gave him like the belly of a snake or the belly of an alligator kind of look. The rest of the texture on his body are going to be just like the legs, kind of carp scales. I'm just going through and darkening up some lines so you can see what I'm actually doing here. Alright, here's my finished drawing with all the textures inside. Even threw a little fireball off to the side. Now I'll show you how I did it with ink. So there's the ink. Make sure you erase after you do the ink. And next is watercolor. Have fun with that watercolor. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to send me pictures at burghyartroom@gmail.com and keep creating.